Hello everyone, I am Gabriele, welcome to my channel. Today a new DevBlog came out for the month of January. Pretty interesting things if we go and read them. There is Amarok that starts the DevBlog saying that they are switching slowly, I guess, from Unreal Engine 4.27 to Unreal Engine 5. This will actually create so they can create more detailed and realistic environments without as much compromise to performance. This might be good. It actually creates smaller chunks of maps, so you have an improvement in performance, improve performance and optimize the rendering of the game's environment. This system divides the game world into smaller sections, allowing us to only render the parts of the world that are currently visible to the player. This currently visible to the player, it doesn't mean that your Carnotaurus field of vision, I'm saying Carnotaurus because it has a very good field of vision, long range. It's not affected, I guess. It's what is visible to the player. That's how I understand it, at least. Now, aside from content migration from updates from Unreal Engine 4.27 to 5, I have been working on the base dinosaur controller logic. Now, it's not this controller, to my understanding, not this controller. It's just how you control your dinosaur, or what are the controls for specific dinosaurs, I guess. The logic behind it, at least. The goal here is to smooth the animal movement to be less robotic and fix the movement strafing you currently see. Alright, for me the movement of the animal is already pretty smooth, but there is always a space to improvement as far as I'm reading here. Alright, other games are not this realistic. This is actually great. Now, the M4th programmer. Last month it was the M4th starting the DevBlog 32. Now it's Amarok. Now the M4th instead, I started the year by finishing some code reorganization I started before the break. It's one of those things where you put your time into something that doesn't change anything for the users, but it makes your life easier in future. So life easier in future might mean also faster development? Question mark. Probably yes, probably not, but life easier anyway, so more content, probably, I don't know. Then I moved or possible content that was not possible to release before because it was a mess in the code, I don't know. Now, then I moved on to some engine update related tasks. Alright, so everything is related to the change from to the switch to the migration from Unreal Engine 4.27 to Unreal Engine 5. Afterwards, my main task was the Ceratosaurus. It has a fairly straightforward mechanic. You build up bacteria in your mouth when you eat. Wow, alright. So Ceratosaurus. You build up bacteria in your mouth when you eat. So the more you eat, the more bacteria you have in your mouth, which you can apply to other players by biting them. So you infect other players. After enough hits, this will cause them to vomit. Okay, that's pretty cool. The mechanic is currently functional, but it will still need testing, balancing and visual effects. So, vomit actually causes players to have all of their stats reduced to an 80% of their power. So if, to my understanding, after I vomit, my maximum speed is not, I don't know, 46.8 with my Omniraptor, but it's 46.8 minus a 20% in power. That's to my understanding. And you cannot, all of your stats are topped at 80% of their 100% power. So you cannot eat at 100%. Food, you will eat only 80% of your belly, let's say. It won't fit more than 80% of what it would normally fit in your belly. That's vomit, roughly. I mean, all of your stats are reduced by 20%, and it takes roughly 20 minutes to get them back to normal, unless you lick salt. You can find salt, so you reverse vomit. You are not sick anymore. So Ceratosaurus, you build up bacteria as long the more you eat. The more you eat, you build up, the more bacteria you build up in your mouth, and then you can apply this in bacteria, this infection, to other players by biting them. After enough bites, this will cause your prey, the other player, to vomit. Pretty cool. Functional but will need testing. Now, Wedge, sound designer. For the start of the new year, I spent my time finishing getting Babysaurus, please. It should, I don't know, fingers crossed. I think Babysaurus is arriving with update 6.5 along with Truden. But again, it's my wild guess. Probably it has nothing to do with update 6.5. So, a lot of work has been put into Baby. So, finishing off a handful of sounds for its hatchling juvenile stages, after going over and testing Baby to make sure it is fully complete audio-wise. I have moved on to working my way through all the supplementary sounds for Ceratosaurus. So Ceratosaurus and Babysaurus are being worked on. Now, where is it? I have already designed and implemented around half of the sounds needed for its adult stage, with a handful of others also in progress. The sounds completed include eating, drinking, primary and alternative attack, mouth display, death, regular pain, trash, and vomit. A lot of sounds for just one Ceratosaurus. Imagine for all other playables. Its sonic aesthetic is big and brutish, with an emphasis on low guttural texture, or similar to Dinosuchus then, low guttural texture. Its attacks sound impactful and gnarly with a satisfying crunch as its teeth clamp together, and it also has a low but explosive roar when displaying to threaten its competitors and bolster its bite. Alright, I don't know if so if I press the 3 button earlier, do I get some bonus in my bite and bolster its bite? So if I threat, is it something that Wedge probably misspelled, or if I roar when threatening, if I press 3 button to threat, do I have a bonus on my bite afterwards? Question mark. Is it not? That's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. Every time I find someone, I will actually press 3. It makes sense. I mean, you are actually giving yourself a battle. You are actually doing a battle cry to bolster your confidence, and then you have a bonus on your bite force. I don't know. Is it though, or is it my wrong understanding of this phrase? It also has a low but explosive roar when displaying to threaten its competitors and bolster its bites. So 3 button, threat its competitors and bolster its bites. Okay, I spent a little time with Felipe looking into the issue related to footsteps attenuation. We have narrowed down the cause to limitations with the system which is overriding the set attenuation and truncating the range. However, we have not been able to find a solution to fix this, but it's something we are aware of and looking into it. So you know that if you press Z, you have different types of walks. Let's say the confident walk, where you make a lot of sound, and the footstep attenuation sound footstep, where you are more carefully moving around the island. This is more valid for 4-legged animals than the 2-legged animals that have crouch ability. Finally, I have dipped my toes into Unreal Engine 5 new audio engine to familiarize myself. Okay, this is okay. All developers are actually focusing on studying the new Unreal Engine 5, which is similar but not the same as Unreal Engine 4. Alright, Brian, animator, he is working on Diabloceratops. I mean, my current task is getting Diabloceratops ready as well. It's one of the older rigs and need a lot of work before I will be happy with it. So, this is gonna be pretty cool. Diabloceratops baby getting into Diabloceratops adult form. Most of 2023 has been about updating rigs and filling in the missing pieces on a few of our legacy animals in preparation for their debut in Evrima. Ceratosaurus saw a lot of work in particular, and while there are always tweaks to be made to the animations once you see them in game, that beastie is pretty much complete, with Gallimimus soon to follow. Well, Ceratosaurus probably will come after Brachiosaurus, I don't know, from my understanding of things. Everything non-official, because check the Trello roadmap, that should be not set in stone at the same time. It isn't. So that's why should arrive in update 6.5 Trudon with the Venom mechanic, kinda. Tapwing, 2D artist. Tapwing did a couple of very cool concepts lately with humans all in them. This is the Avaceratops concept, by the way. I don't know if I'm gonna focus on it. I'm gonna magnify it. Well, the Avaceratops concept, pretty cool. Now, actually, just about all our ceratopsian are full of attitude. It means that all ceratopsians, animals, dinosaurs, they should have a concept art behind them in order for the animators like Brian, the riggers, I guess, like Kiss and Kitten, another animator, can work on them to give them the right attitude. I mean, the Carnotaurus is a runner, is a baby hunter, Deinosuchus is an ambusher, a solo player experience more than group experience. Omniraptors and Pachycephalosaurus are more of social animals, pretty powerful, amazingly powerful in groups. I mean, each dinosaur has a different set of ability that will make it great in certain conditions. Of course, you can play as you wish, because it's player versus player, but if you follow certain steps or methods, you are more successful at growing your dinosaur to 100% or to thrive in the Isle rather than surviving. Again, my opinion. Now, boars, they have little patience for the presence of other creatures and are bullies of anything remotely their size. Yeah, you have to put boars in line. Full of energy, they will run you out of town unless you can hit back or are exceptionally good at staying out of reach. Well, this is pretty cool. Now, so keep an eye on your hatchlings. Such fragile things are a prize target for the opportunistic ceratopsian. So Avaceratops is gonna be definitely an omnivore, for example, hunting for eggs and for babies. Now, Mikey, animator, this month, Mikey, alright. Hello, Mikey. This month I continued working on the Ceratosaurus and the Gallimimus, adding more animations to both sets. I worked on the knockdowns for Ceratosaurus, but my focus was mostly on Gallimimus, as we were wrapping up on these creatures' animated features. I worked on hatchling animation for this creature, and I hope to see all of our Gallimimus players entering the Isle in style. Yeah, I wonder if Gallimimus is gonna be a kicker. That's gonna be cool. Kiss and Kitten, animator, new year, new things, meetings, and more meetings, and more programming, I guess, and more animators, I see, than usual, or probably it's just me opening my eyes for the first time. It happens plenty of times. Everyone is migrating from Unreal Engine 4 to 5. Trudon will be moving into combat testing and then be making its way to the hands of stress testers, yes, when given the green light. On the topic of playables, the Brachiosaurus, Ceratosaurus and Gallimimus are either animation mechanic complete or very near it. Are they gonna be on a quality assurance and then a stress test work soon? Upon testing more polish and then they go ahead. They will follow suit and make their way to be stress tested as well. That's pretty cool. So stress tests on these three animals: Gallimimus, Ceratosaurus and Brachiosaurus after Trudon. Diabloceratops is next in line after those, after Gallimimus, Ceratosaurus and Mephisaurus, and it will be entering the R&D phase, okay, to see how far we can push the limits of a unique sparring experience for playables with horns. Okay, so sparring experience, it means you will be able to clash heads with Diabloceratops, the same way you could clash heads with Pachycephalosaurus, in order to determine who's strongest or who's gonna get some benefits. I mean, does sparring, the winner of sparring gets some benefits over the group? I don't know, just guessing. Probably better night vision by a bit, or better sniffing scent range by a bit, just because you want a sparring event against someone else. I don't know. So keep your fingers crossed and send those good vibes. Dilophosaurus and Herrerasaurus will come afterwards, provided there are no production shifts. Well, this is a big if. We will also begin spinning up to apexes. Wow, alright, so we can establish what an apex animal's impact will truly be like in Evrima. Now, I remind you that Deinosuchus and Stegosaurus, they are considered pseudo-apex, because given a certain condition, they are unbeatable. For example, for Deinosuchus, if you are in water, you are unbeatable, you stay unbeaten from any other playable that is not Deinosuchus. Same thing goes for Stegosaurus. You stay unbeatable as long as you have the 3 sides covered, for example. And the only entrance point from other attacking dinosaurs is your tail. Anything that faces your tail is dead, basically. So we're gonna see what two true apexes. T-Rex, question mark. Spinosaurus, come on, Spinosaurus is gonna be the next level of awesome. Their capabilities will far exceed anything you have experienced in Legacy, and so need to be extensively tailored. Now, apexes won't be need not to be easy to grow at all. They need to be actually super difficult to grow. Super difficult. You need to have no mercy if you see an apex player, someone that is growing an apex. No mercy. Oh, can I keep it? No, you destroy it on sight. Stop. Please do not expect them to appear on official servers, but rather community servers instead, when they are complete and we are ready to launch them. Alright, so Evrima won't host any Apex player, Apex, but only community servers. So if you own, or if you are in a private server, you will be able to play Apexes. Probably Evrima is a certain game mode. The Isle developers will implement Apexes probably in their official servers under a different game mode that is not Survival Evrima. For example, in a far away future, from my understanding, it's like a far-fetched idea I have. In regards to update 7, okay, the design team is pooling and organizing the multi-tiered approach we intend to take for perks and elders. There will be a few different ways to acquire perks, and the perks will vary based on how you acquire them. Alright, some based on what you eat, others based on how you have grown, and others based on what you have done. Alright, so let's say that you have killed another one of your species, you acquire a certain perk. You can choose to get a certain perk, or you will be given a certain perk. There is a difference. Given, you have to take it, you don't get to choose. And another one, probably you get to choose, question mark, again, I'm not sure. Elder being a key component to retaining some of those acquired perks for a new playthrough of that species. This is gonna be huge, actually. Let me put that bigger and bigger. Elder being a key component to retaining some of those acquired perks for a new playthrough of that species. This will create, depending on what type of perk you get, I hope nothing that will unsettle the balance of the game too much. Otherwise, you're gonna have someone that just focuses on, let's say, Driosaurus with the strongest bite force in game, because you have always acquired the bite perk with Driosaurus. All of these perks that you eternally acquire for eternity, they will have a cap. Will need a cap, actually. I guess that's just my opinion. More to come on that as time and development progress. Now, I do not want any of you to hype too much, because we are talking about a slow and steady development. Thank you all so much, Kiss and Kitten. This was very insightful. Thank you all so much, actually everyone, Mikey, Tarquin, Brian, Wedge, DM4th, and Amarok for the DevBlog 33 for January, for the past month of January. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing my channel. Let me know what you think about this. It's pretty interesting. I cannot wait for perks and elders, actually. Bye bye.